Welcome, everyone. We are here, and we are live at the Lodge Mahal in Round Rock, Texas. It is a bustling day at the Lodge. We have the monthly monster in full swing and a high-stakes, no-limit hold'em cash game coming your way shortly here. As you can see, the cards are getting shuffled on the table. I am joined in the bunker by my business associates, Andrew Nemi and Jacob Dahl. Welcome to the bunker, guys.
Good evening. Happy Friday. I'm excited. This is going to be a great game of high-stakes poker.
I'm happy to be in the bunker for the first time. Far under the ground.
Far under the ground. If there's any kind of nuclear fallout, we're going to be just fine here in the bunker. Let's go ahead and take a look at our players. We have some names that I'm not familiar with, like Calipocornia. How about that one? 7K, that's going to be the short stack. Everyone else in for 5 figs, 10K for Boston Jimmy, all the way up to 20K for Rampage and Terrace. We have some big stacks. And guys, this is not too common here at the Lodge. We do have a high-stakes Saturday game that goes weekly, but this one is, even for those standards, pretty big. Andrew, what are you expecting to see tonight on the felt?
I'm expecting to see straddles. I'm expecting to see high V-pips. I'm expecting to see lots of action here. We got some faces that people will be familiar with, and some new faces, some locals down here in Texas. So that's always makes for an interesting dynamic when you got some people that you're familiar with trying to navigate through the local craziness.
This stream's lineup, we of course all know Brad Owen, another partner here at the Lodge. The rest of the lineup, there's some faces I'm actually not too familiar with. I did play a little heads up no limit with seat 8 Eddie. We battled out some 25-50 heads up before the stream.
I saw you out there. Was that kind of a scheduled thing, or just kind of like a random occurrence? Let's get some heads up going.
You can see the beautiful room here. That's actually me. So there I am on the left. It was actually pretty spur of the moment. He messaged me and said, "Hey, you want to play some heads up 25-50?" And I said yes. So I came down to the Lodge a little bit early, played a little heads up. Heads up, no limit hold'em, and then the seat opened up for him, so he is now on the stream.
Yeah, this is such an awesome scene we have here today. We have all these different things. Brad was hosting a bomb pots only cash game today, so we had, I think, 3 tables of that going. We have all the regular cash games that were going on. We have a $500,000 guaranteed tournament going on. You out there playing heads up, and now we got this 25-50 stream just about to kick off here.
Did you partake in the bomb pots?
I did. I
Nice.
played for a couple of hours, just bomb pots, and it was a choice of no limit, PLO, or pineapple. Oh. Basically, nobody chose no limit, so you'll be happy about that.
That's good. Yes, that's very good.
And mostly PLO. So double board bomb pots, by the way, fun stuff.
I absolutely despise the hold'em bomb pots. I think that they are a terrible version of the game. It is extremely difficult to have any chance at not splitting. And people can kind of call down with whatever because you probably only have one side of the pot. Unlike the PLO ones where you really could have some hands where you have some equity in both.
Fair enough. I understand we have a special free roll for the chat tonight. Are we waiting on the details, or are we going to give it out in the beginning here? I'm not sure how
we can go ahead and give it out. I believe it is seat 4 has a free roll in effect. Anytime he is dealt Jack 3 or 7 deuce, he is going to be giving out 100 American dollars to a viewer here on YouTube.
Wow.
We don't exactly know how we're going to pick it. We're going to do it. We'll figure it out, guys. We'll figure it out. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
All right.
That's seat 4. That's Boston Jimmy, I believe.
Boston Jimmy. Where do you think he's from, Jake?
I couldn't tell you. I have no guess.
Need more info.
Does make sense. Small pot here out of the gate. Action just getting going. I want to welcome everyone to the chat. It's great to have you all here. And we do appreciate everyone for hitting that thumbs up button. Show us some love. If we get to 2,000 likes, we're going to go into overtime tonight.
And the game is tied. We're going to overtime.
2K likes, and that's going to become a reality shortly here. Sure to throw that thumbs up. And then, of course, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We have a lot of great action coming up for you tomorrow. 100, 200, no limit hold'em, $20,000 minimum buy-in. We're going to have that coming for you at 8 o'clock Central Time. And then, of course, Sunday as well, the final table of our monthly monster coming to you live from the Lodge Mahal. Someone's going to be taking home a six-figure prize. Should be a good one. Should be exciting. Little tournament poker. I know you guys do like the cash games, but I like to mix it up here at the lodge. Get you some tournament action too. All right. Eddie, 9-8 suited. Quick one for Eddie. Boston Jimmy, 10-7. So that's your guy, everybody. Boston Jimmy, seat 4. Jack 3 or 7 deuce. One of you lucky viewers will take home $100 American dollars.
That's pretty cool. Pretty generous.
It is.
Jack 3 or 7 deuce. I wonder what the Jack 3 situation is. If that's just
I think it was his, in high school, was his football jersey. It was Jack 3.
Jake, you really do enjoy sports. I didn't realize that you were so into sporting events.
Yes.
Jesse Sylvia in seat 2, wearing his Floptimal shirt. It's poker software he's been a part of developing, I believe. He's on the team, yeah.
And Jesse, of course, got second in the main event in, what was it, 2012, I believe?
I think it was. The years really blur together here. In that vicinity.
Someone in the chat, I'm sure, will know.
Someone will definitely know.
Also won a WPT tournament, did Jesse. Very accomplished player. Decorated, you might say.
Anyone else you know at the table here, Andrew, of course, other than Brad?
We got Rampage in the action here. There he is in the with the backwards hat, the lavender hoodie. He's always good for some action. Never shies away from a high stakes poker game. If there's a seat open in a game, he's in there, buying in deep.
Also, we will be playing 8-handed here until the 9th seat is filled, so there's going to be some 8-handed poker going on for a while. I got the opportunity to play with Rampage for the first time the other day. I didn't see too many punts. He seemed to play pretty solid, frankly, but it just takes a little bit of time, I think. Some big hands here pre-flop. Jet Sylvia, Ace King suited. Terra's with the Ace Queen suited, and Brad looking down at the
There's no
pocket.
right way to play jiggity, so it doesn't matter what I do.
It really doesn't matter what he does, but he will raise it up to 150.
I was just telling Brad right before he started playing that I was really hopeful he would get jacks so that we could press that button, and here we are, first hand jacks. It's beautiful.
It really is beautiful. I don't know what the chances are of that. He looked down at those jacks and probably thought about us pressing the soundboard in the booth.
Yep, he knows it.
Absolutely. Anyway, Brad does make the call with the pocket jacks. We have some deep play here, guys. $15,000 in front of Brad Owen. $20,000 in front of Terrace. I'm probably butchering that pronunciation. And Jesse Sylvia with the Ace King of Hearts. $11,000 to start here. We're looking at a pretty sizable pot. 46.50 to go. Terrace with the Ace Queen of Spades.
11. I started with 11, 750.
Figuring out what the stack of his opponent is.
How much do you have total? I started with 15.
Figuring how much Brad has. Deciding what he wants to do. He does make the call, and we're going to get a 3-way flop with some very strong hands here, guys.
No, I have it. I had it in my pocket. I just forgot to put it the other.
King, King, 9. Ace, King with 3 of a kind. Very strong hand here on the flop. Ace, Queen of Spades, backdoor flush draw. And the jacks, tough spot now for Brad. Did not improve, but a fairly good board for him. We could see some action.
Pretty dreamy flop here for Jesse. Flopping trips, top kicker. Brad will definitely feel like he needs to continue here, as he should.
There's no right way to play jiggity, so it doesn't matter what I do.
Oh,
wow.
In fact, there was a right way to play jiggities,
Wow.
and Brad did it.
Fantastic.
We're going to have to rethink that soundboard clip because he knew the right way to play those jiggities.
Played
today.
it very well.
Definitely got to give some credit there. If I had jacks in this flop, I'd put all my money in, and I'd take out my wallet and ask how much more am I allowed to put in there. 3 on the turn. The Ace, Queen of Spades, I guess, did not get the memo, floating the flop here with just the Ace high. Feels a little loose, out of position, but maybe he thinks Jesse's just trying to take a stab and steal the pot. Jesse, anything but taking a stab here with this 3 of a kind. And Terrace checks it over to Jesse. Jesse thinking about his size. He's going to go ahead and bet. He bets a
Yep, always feels good when you sit down in the live stream table. I don't think Jesse probably has too many butterflies, but that definitely can play a factor sometimes. And when you win a hand early in the stream, helps with that a little bit. I don't think you're the kind of guy who gets too many butterflies when you go play on live stream. Are you, Doug?
Where I'm from, we call them jiggies. Oh, yeah.
I'm not someone that gets a little too butterflies in my stomach. I've played some pretty big games, and the only time that I really felt something was when I played high-stakes poker for the first time, and it felt a little bit like, I remember when I started playing poker, learning about high-stakes poker, watching some of those guys, then to actually get dealt in, it was a bit of a special moment. Outside of that, I haven't felt that too much, though.
What about when you sat down with, like, Patrick Antonius and Phil Ivey, and that was super high stakes? Just in the zone back then, it just didn't matter?
I just really felt like I was better than them, so I didn't really mind. Whether I was right or not, it was how I felt, to be honest. So there you have it. Probably not going to be controversial at all. We can see a packed room here. Only a few tables left open in the entire room. This is a 60-table room. We have all of the front tables devoted to cash games and then tournaments running in the back, the monthly monster.
I see Mike Del Vecchio out there in the crowd. He's in town. I think he's playing the bomb pot game. He's a pro from Vegas and good guy.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Played a lot of poker with him over the years. Once the 2-5 and 5-10 streets in Las Vegas.
I hear he made a last-minute trip, so maybe next time we'll get him on the stream.
I think it's nice that we finally have someone named Mike here at the lodge. There's only about 18 of them, so 19 it is. Okay, we have a hand developing pocket kings here for Calipornia. We need to get a sheet with some real names going here shortly. Jesse Sylvia 3-betting the Jack 10 suited to $400, and Brad comes in cold. Ooh, I guess they must be playing the 7-deuce game, and someone just turned off the lights in the bunker. What the? Was that? Why is it dark in here, Andrew?
I might have bumped into something.
What?
No. No, I did not turn it off. I don't think I
Lights
touched
were
it.
inadvertently turned off.
I think it was the timer.
Here in
Timer
the
went
bunker.
off. Timer's reset. Let's get back to the
And
action.
when you're a
here.
mile underground and the generator goes out, it's a little stressful, but thankfully we got that thing back on.
I mean, I've heard of playing dark, but okay,
Looks like-
Kings all in for 7,000. Brad has zagged at the wrong time.
I forgot about the game. I forgot about that, too. I was hoping it was just going to get through.
Little unfortunate timing there. Looks like the 7-deuce bounty is on, and unfortunate timing running into the second best hand ever created. Pocket Kings.
Also, we're gonna, generally speaking, be commentating, but when we do hear players talking, we're gonna try and get off the mic a little bit so that you guys can hear what the players are saying. I know you guys do enjoy that.
I didn't know what to do with him behind. I was debating just flatting.
Keep in mind, however, there is, of course, also going to be a lot of noise throughout the room. It is a packed house tonight, and we do also have to commentate about what's happening in the hand, but we're going to let you guys hear what they have to say as much as we can.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe we'll just call him Callie. How about that?
Callie, wearing his Kobe Bryant hat. Jesse throws the queen 4-way. We're going to need to make sure we're watching Boston Jimmy for any Jack 3 or 7-deuce.
Hopefully if he gets one of those hands, he won't fold too quickly.
That would be rough.
Savor the moment a little bit.
Eddie wakes up with the ace-king offsuit. Facing a Rampage open. We're in the small blind. Crafting on his size. Looks like he's going to go with about 650. Big blind gets out of the way. It is 650 to go. Now back to Rampage. Quick laydown. A takes down the pot.
So you played heads up with
Boston Jimmy looks down pocket 10. Going to call an open from Jesse Sylvia's Queen Jack suited. Going to the small blind here. Terra's makes the call. And I think this is a Windows background.
The chat says the stream is lagging, so I think we're having some technical difficulties here.
I see F's in the chat and U's in the chat.
But mostly F's.
But mostly F's. Well, I can hear the game. That's definitely good. Can they still see the game? Or can there
And
we
we're
go.
back.
And we are back. Okay, Ace King Jack. Boston Jimmy bets the pocket tens. Jesse Sylvia with the bottom pair. Gut shot, backdoor flush draw makes the call.
Ooh.
Jack on the turn. Jesse's now moving to the lead with his 3 of a kind. Only a 10 on the river can help Boston Jimmy. Jesse decides to go with a small lead. This is a play you'll see from many good players on boards where cards pair that they're way more likely to have than their opponent. Now over to Boston Jimmy. Pocket tens. Gut shot as well. Very small bet. He's reaching for chips. He's going to put a raise out there. 575. Small raise back over to Jesse. Maybe he's trying to put a little pressure on some hands like a king. Or even an ace.
Not the worst hand to use as a bluff there, blocking the straight, and you have all the good hands on a board like this.
Absolutely true. A little bit of removal. Jesse does make the call. 3 on the river. That's a brick. Jesse checks once again.
See what Boston Jimmy's plan here is after raising the turn.
Will he pull the trigger? You can see the check mark next to Jesse Sylvia's name. He will win this pot.
Gives it up.
White flag.
Wise give up against 3 of a kind. Actually, Jesse, when I was playing heads up against Eddie, Jesse came by and I said, "You want to sweat?" And he actually sweat almost that exact hand. But I had the ace, and my opponent fired the river. I led small. Eddie raised. I called. He fired the river, and then I tanked and complained to Jesse about how annoying the spot was and folded. Because I do love a good fold, guys.
Noticed that.
3 of a kind does get it done. Poker Traveler here under the gun. Known as SETI. Around the lodge. Boston Jimmy getting out of the way.
Yep. Cedric from San Antonio comes up this way pretty frequently. Live poker specialist.
I earlier today played in the Mayhem tournament and sitting next to Cedric then too. So
Nice.
see him here a lot.
Any fun hands today?
Not really.
Okay.
I registered late and never got above starting stack.
You gonna fire again, or?
I don't know. We'll see. See if I'm feeling the itch.
I'm gonna fire tomorrow. I think I'll be in there.
Nice.
The 500K tournament, guarantee, the biggest monthly guarantee anywhere.
I think we've probably
We hit it. We hit it today.
we hit today. Okay.
Yep.
We broke it. Nice. Yeah, biggest monthly tournament guarantee in the world.
That's pretty much
Monthly recurring tournaments.
it was like at least like 80-85%.
See the cash games going here across the room. Little 1-2, little 2-5. Maybe those bomb pot games are still going.
I bet they are.
Seems like that's just like the result of one hand. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I was at like a good amount at one point. And then I was at like 1,200.
Back on. Eddie from the hijack, raising up the ace-4 of diamonds.
There are no blinds.
Everyone's getting out of the way. Jesse looking down at the 6 deuce suited here in the small blind. He lets it go. Poker Traveler's going to defend the 8-4 of clubs. Ace, King, 6, 2 hearts. Top pair for Eddie. A nothing burger here for Poker Traveler. Eddie reaching for chips, going to throw out just a small bet here on the flop, test the waters, and, well, nothing's going to come back. Except for the pot. The pot will come back to him.
Rampage has a little bit of a rail over there. He's got his girlfriend here in town. They were exploring Austin together. Looks like there's some discussion of doing a round of straddles. Doesn't take long here. Doesn't take long usually here at the lodge for the straddles. to get into action.
It's funny you say that because when the first hand didn't have a straddle, I thought, oh, they're going to play a little bit more tight today.
Yeah, typically these stakes that get listed on these games, there's sometimes they just put like a plus sign at the end of it. So the game that we played on stream was 510 plus is how it was listed, which just meant the 25 was pretty much always going to be on, and then 50 and 100 and who knows what.
I think it was listed as 5 to 25 on the stream.
I saw somewhere it was listed as just the plus sign. So.
The plus. Leaving it open to interpretation. But not.
Not really. You just know what you're getting into, basically.
Not really.
More than those numbers.
4-way flop. Ace deuce of spades with the best hand here, but not a particularly strong one. A lot of overcards across the board. Taras.
Taras or terrace?
Taras.
Or terrace?
How about you? I can't roll my R's, Jake, so.
Terrace. I don't know.
Taras. Gonna go ahead and bet 350.
Ooh.
Poker Traveler with an ambitious raise here. On the flop, backdoor flush draw, 2 overs. Rampage gets out of the way. Back over to Terras. I want to see how he can do anything to let go. Can he find a way to come over the top? He is good, I guess, technically. And it looks like he makes the call.
Does call.
Wow. 6 on the turn. Brick for both players. Taras checks once again. Ooh, Seti reaching for chips. And he's firing.
He's got heart, does Seti.
He definitely does. 1.7 here on the turn.
Just seems impossible to continue at this point.
Yeah, let's it go.
Sometimes they do that brow whip.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Sometimes they do that brow wipe. It's it's kind of like a fake out. They do the brow wipe when they actually had the nuts or whatever.
Right.
This time it was legit. He had absolutely nothing.
They were certainly posturing after big hands. Make it seem like he might have been up to no good.
Yeah.
Was too confusing? It's a lot of work. We just forget.
Yeah, Cedric seems to have like a really good sense about him for just finding these random spots. He might have 0 equity, but he can just kind of pick up the read sometimes and find a good spot to put the raise in. He just does that in live poker. Seems to do pretty well.
If you're able to play the read game well, it can be quite profitable. Tara's opening the pocket 5s up, 300 to go. That will collect the blind and straddle. Not what you're hoping for with pocket 5s, but you'll take it. Did you know that some small pairs are supposed to fold in early position before folding?
I've heard that. Do I do that? It's another question.
I mean, are you going to believe what some random computer told you or what your heart tells you?
Fair. Quite fair. It's just too hard to do.
I mean, flopping a set is one of the great pleasures in life, and I don't know why you would do something to reduce the chance of that happening.
Rob yourself of that.
I was looking at some ranges that you actually fold some low pairs on the button from early to mid-position raises in some games. And when I had my 4s hand where I flopped a set and got set oversetted, I was like, is this one of those spots? And I thought, I don't want to have to think about it. So I just called anyway. Ooh, you got to be kidding me. You got to be
There's no right
kidding
way to
me.
play jiggities, so it doesn't matter what I do.
Amazing, amazing. Boston Jimmy, the ace king offsuit, raises it up. Brad Owen 3-bets to 1.5 thousand with the pocket jacks.
See some action here.
We definitely are. Now, will Boston Jimmy decide to just smooth call, play a little post flop, or is the price of poker about to go up?
I played that. I played that one as well. But I think there's Bobby's room. But it's like much. I actually have that. No, I didn't even know. It's not too big. It's like 3-6.
It's like a 4-bet.
Big 4-bet.
As Brad knows, there's no right way, but there might be a wrong way.
5.6 thousand. Brad is all in.
All right.
Boston Jimmy makes the call.
My friend's the guy who made poker now. He's like this kid from MIT.
We're
Brad
running
has
it
declared
once.
running it once. Wow. Wow. Brad's either going to get the early double here, roughly a double, or get stacked right out of the gate. Here we go.
Ooh.
Good flop for Brad.
Good flop.
Ace King does have the backdoor hearts. Doesn't matter anymore. Deuce of diamonds on the turn, and the river is
It's an 8.
an 8. Brad stacks Boston Jimmy. Very good start here for Brad. An unfortunate situation for Boston Jimmy. Not much you can do with the Ace King. Kind of a classic race situation at these stakes. And the jacks do hold.
Does Brad normally only run it once?
I'm not exactly sure, but he does seem to like running it once lately. Is it because it's a better chance to get unstuck? Andrew, what's your take?
I've seen him run it once on his vlog as well. So it seems like he sort of leans more towards running it once. I think it's better for, you know, the show, like to get a result going. I mean,
Agreed.
You know, there's the sort of trope, no one loves a chopped pot, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, just to have like a proper result one way or the other. He seems to understand that dynamic and just wants to put on that show.
I've always felt with running it multiple times when I was coming up in poker that I wanted to run it multiple times to avoid losing money that was very valuable because a lot of times I was shot taking. So now that I'm playing smaller stakes, I usually like to give my opponent the opportunity to choose what they want to do, just in case they're in that same situation that I used to be when I was younger.
Yeah, I usually leave it up to the other person to just choose now.
We have the leaderboard here, guys. Brad now up $7,000. Our leader today, Jesse, up $2,500. Callie, poker. Let's go, Callie. Callie up 1.8. SETI up a little bit as well. Tara's down 2.5 thousand, and Boston Jimmy down 1 stack of high society, or a dime in some circles. Too soon.
Too soon.
All right, our action begins here in the cutoff, making it 300 to go. Boston Jimmy taking down blinds and straddle. Small pot, but a win's a win. At least that's what I tell myself when I go home with $400 after the mixed game.
You can have the night goes. You can have a good time. I'm tired on that day. How did you do in the tournament?
No, Phil Ivey and Barry Greenstein famously never run it twice. I think for the same reason. They think they want to put more pressure on their opponents and make the decision more, more difficult to make. I once convinced Ivey to run it twice, to play higher stakes than we were playing, and he agreed. And after about a half hour, an hour of playing, he sat out and he said, "I'll never do this again. I'd rather just not play than run it twice," and he just canceled it. So.
Tough.
It was a short-lived run twice.
That is tough. Pocket aces here, guys. The best hand in no limit hold'em for Jesse. Jesse's hitting some big hands here out of the gate.
Yep, finding some cards. Nothing for his opponent here, unfortunately for him.
Opponent's got to get pretty creative, and he doesn't. Some players do prefer to run it once. It is certainly better for the stream. Definitely got to be better for your vlog to have a result. Makes a lot of sense.
It can also be if you think your opponent might be at risk of tilting and you don't think that you're at risk of tilting.
Right.
Could be more beneficial in the long run for the game.
Definitely the case. I strategically picked some guys to not run it twice against before as well. Isildur used to pick a spot where we want to run it once or twice, and then I realized that when he's winning, he plays way better. So unclick that box. Let's go. I'd love to have known the first time he tried to run it twice on me where it was actually just one board. We'll never know. I want to give a few shout-outs to some super chats. Brandon Duran, $2. Pocket Jiggities will always win. And there was another $5 super chat that said, let's go, Brad. That unfortunately, it went to the top of the chat.
We had a $10 from Liam Christensen.
Very nice. Just a little superhero pair. Great commentary here in the booth. Eddie opening up the King 5 suited, takes it down on the button. Certainly a standard button open.
Jim Fry sends $5 and says, looks like Brad has already learned the right way to play those jigs in Tejas.
That's very true.
Thanks, Jim, for the donation.
He's actually played the jacks perfectly tonight.
He has. He got away from it earlier on.
He had Jack through Ace King, flatted and folded when Jesse flop trips, and then he had Jack through Ace King and got the full hold for the double. That's about as good as you can hope to do with the jiggities.
The master of the jiggities, putting on a show with him. You might say a master class.
One might say that.
Yeah, we just had it just 100 big blind cash.
Looks like we're waiting here for a hand to be dealt out. Once again, thank you everyone for tuning in. We're trying to get to 2,000 likes in the chat to get this to overtime. We have 700. Guys, come on. 2,000. You can definitely do it in the Lodge live. Also, remember, hit that subscribe button. A lot of great streams coming your way. Back to the action. Boston Jimmy pocket sevens opens up to $300. Rampage living up to the namesake with a 3-bet with King 10 suited to Boston Jimmy's left. And Terrace wakes up with the ladies. All right. Just a cold call with the pocket queens. Back over to Jimmy with the pocket sevens.
They're kidding. It's like the Spider-Man. He's the Strato. Wait, so who made it 300? This guy did, and then you raised.
Jimmy's going on a set mining mission. 3 ways to a flop.
I've never been to Boston, guys. Have you been to Boston?
I have.
I actually lived there for 2 years once. It was a strange time and a strange place.
Why was it strange?
I don't know. I didn't like the way the streets are designed in Boston. Are really tilting to me. I think it's like someone threw up pickup sticks and let them fall, and then made like half of them one way. And it's just completely madness. And back when I lived there, there was no like GPS systems that were easy to use. I'd print out MapQuest and just like cruise around the city for hours trying to get home. It was terrible.
Oof. That does sound pretty terrible. Back to the hand. Jack 8-3 checks through. 6 of hearts on the turn. Rampage turns the second nut flush draw. Terrace still in the lead with his pocket queens. Rampage playing it slow. Checking it over to Terrace on the button. Looks like he's in pain. But he's not going to let one come off for free. He's reaching for chips.
Good spot for a large bet.
Two flush draws out there. A lot of hands that could get value. So has to go for more of a value tickle. 750 to 3K, 25% here on the button. Boston Jimmy, sensing weakness at the wrong time, does make the call. It is a small bet, so I can understand what he's thinking. And now Rampage, second nut flush draw. He's getting direct odds to hit, but will he consider making a move? Thinking it over.
Oh, you're over here?
Yep. You're done with the
Mike Delvecchio coming into the table, seat 5. Rampage fires a raise, 3.4 thousand. 3.5 thousand.
On the screen, can that be his name?
Terra's now looking pained, but is he really? Does have the overpair. His small bet induced a little bit of action. Tough spot now. Does he want to make the call and risk his opponent drawing against his queens? Does he want to fold and potentially get bluffed? Or does he want to jam and prevent any chance of his opponent drawing against his queens here? This is a legitimately difficult decision to make. And he lets it go!
Wow.
Wow.
Can't see Boston Jimmy continuing here.
The last time I chatted with you at the Venetian, you said
Although I've been surprised many times before down here in Texas.
Bit of a tight fold there, Andrew. What were your thoughts on that?
I was not expecting that. I believe did the flop check through?
Flop check through, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, once action checks over to him the second time, Tough to put Rampage on a hand there on such a wet board. Letting it check through him twice with the overpair with the queens, especially after you've under-repped your hand a little bit. Just the flat call pre-flop, checking it back on the flop.
Very under-rep. The way that he played it looks like maybe some kind of draw or lower pair. Would have liked to see something other than fold there. I wonder what Rampage's plan was on some rivers. Do you think he was just going to be giving that one up, or maybe looking to fire sometimes? Tough to say. We'll never find out.
$5 dono from Matt Slaughter. Love having Doug and Andrew casting. Also love the action at the Lodge this week. Was there Tuesday. Excited for where the Lodge is headed. That makes 4 of us.
Ouch, Jake, ouch.
We have a great question from the chat here earlier. What are the odds that the 3 most handsome poker personalities join forces and buy a stake in the same card room? What do you guys think about that probability question?
Very low, I guess.
I was going to say 100%.
So who's left out here, Jake?
No comment.
No comment? Well, it's good to know that the fans are enjoying Andrew and I's commentary tonight.
Yes, that's good to hear.
E. McKenzie, I guess I need to teach these guys how to catch Rampage punts with the $5 donation. Thank you, E. McKenzie. And by the way, guys, E has recently started up a poker vlog. You guys can check that out over on YouTube.
Yep. I saw his first one.
What were your thoughts?
Lots of hands in there. People love the hands. You can't get it if you feel like you want to check out some more hands. Check out E's vlog.
A scathing review from Andrew Nemi here on the street. Hands it is, and people do love hands, and they love flops. That's 10-10-6. No one gets a piece of it. Skittles, as they say here. Queen in the turn. King Jack now with the open ender. No pair for either player.
Yeah, we just rolled around 6th Street last night.
Callie, open ender, position.
Yeah, Rainy was a nice vibe.
Decides to bet it. That's going to be a wrap. Small bet. Takes it down with the open ender straight draw.
Catastrophica sends $10 and a little thank you cartoon thing. I guess maybe thank you for the stream, perhaps. I'll interpret that as thank you for the donation.
Brad looking at the camera. Hi, Brad. Yep. We can see you too.
Who's taller between you and Brad?
Brad's taller.
Is he? Can't be that much taller.
I think he's a decent amount taller than me. At least an inch or two. I think.
1 inch or 2.
How tall are you, Doug?
Are you mad, Andrew, or what's going on here?
What do you mean?
Are you mad?
About what?
Are you mad, bro? I was thinking about this. It seems like every circle that I'm ever hanging out with, everyone's really tall. The short person is usually like 5'10", unless Fees is there.
Yeah. I feel like since the last few days, every time I see people talk to you here, about half of them say, "You're much taller than I thought."
It's the most common thing people say to me, of course, other than "What's up, Vanessa?" That one's actually more common, but both quite common. What's the most common thing people say to you, Andrew, when they see you out in the real world?
There's so many friendly people that Brad and I have come across on these, the meetup game trail. So lots of love the vlog, a lot of that stuff.
That's wholesome.
It is. Very encouraging as a content creator.
The thing that I get the most is probably, can I get you a refill on that?
What? What?
Because people out in the world, they're usually waiters or bartenders. That's most of my interaction with people.
Okay, that makes sense.
You get when you invite a less famous person into the booth.
That makes sense. And if you want to learn from the not famous Jacob Dalla over on Upswing Poker, we have a mixed game course. He's going to walk you through how to play horse. Isn't that right, Jake?
Most of horse, yeah.
Most of horse.
No limit hold'em, and we added triple draw, but it's
okay.
It's 5 games. That's almost horse.
There you have it. Jake is quite a good mixed game player.
Shout out to Silverlicious. Thanks for the $2. The 3 Lodgeteers. Good luck, Andrew, Doug, and Brad.
Interesting comment here. Doug has a short person's face, that's why. What does short people's faces look like?
first time I've heard that one.
Does that make... But the thing that makes me interested in this is that I think that he's onto something because so many people think that I'm short, and then they get the bad news. There's really nowhere to take this conversation, so we're going to move on. Alrighty. Back into the action. Mike Delvecchio sitting down at the table, ready to roll, ready for some action.
Mike's got some big tournament scores for himself. I think he went deep into WPT as well as the Aussie Millions one year. Tournaments, cash games, all around good player. He was on a little bit of a break. He was getting into the business world in Las Vegas, downtown Las Vegas, doing a couple things.
He's opening some kind of bar, or is it?
It's like he's opening like a thrill ride kind of a thing on top of one of the buildings in downtown Las Vegas.
It's like skydiving, but you just stay still, right?
Yeah, indoor skydiving.
Right.
And there's a few other games too. He was telling me about this. They'll bet people if they can hang on a pull-up bar for 90 seconds.
Right. Apparently he's no longer part of that business, but he was. There was exactly that though. Yeah. Some very playable hands here.
Absolutely. Mike looking down at King, Queen of Diamonds. 3-betting Terras is open with the 10-9 suited. And Brad wakes up with, no, it's actually not Jiggity's. Ace King here for Brad Owen. 4-betting to 2.7 thousand. Smaller size here, managing these stacks. Mike, of course, only has 10K in front of him. Brad's thinking about a couple of things with this size. He's thinking, okay, I need to go small because if I go too large, I'd have to call a jam with anything. However, at the same time, I don't want to give my opponent a good opportunity to draw it against me. And it works perfectly. Gets the fold here for the King Queen suited.
Brad claims a misclick with his sizing. Perhaps wanting to go smaller.
That's exactly what he'd want, you think.
Could be a lie.
Brad's having a nice session here. Off to a good start.
Yeah, Brad's very much in the thick of it all week. He's going to be in the very high stakes game that you guys are playing tomorrow, 100, 200.
I'm interested to see how that goes.
$9.99 from Nick in the chat. Congrats on the new venture. I've never seen a poker room with a 7-stud game. Thoughts on trying one? Well, we are starting a weekly Wednesday mix game, Dealer's Choice. If you want to play some 20-40 Dealer's Choice, you're welcome to call 7-card stud once a rotation.
I played in that, was it 2 days ago? Yeah, 2 days ago. There was some good action going. People were enjoying themselves. It was a fun time.
Lots of games that even you hadn't played before, right, Jake?
Yeah, I learned a lot of new games the other night.
There was a lot of crazy ones. Oklahoma, Leftovers, Dramaha 49.
Sassy was my favorite.
You like the game?
So fun.
Nice. I'd ask you how it works, but it would probably take a long time here, and I don't want to bore the good people that enjoy just casual no limit hold'em. Got some other super chats coming in. Hunter Ketchum, $5 super chat. What's up, Andrew and Doug? We have a third person in the booth here, guys. Don't forget. What's up, Andrew and Doug? Hope to meet you both at the lodge someday soon. We absolutely will, Hunter. I'm here twice a week. You can come on down Wednesdays and Fridays. And then Andrew and Brad will be coming about every month or so. Might mix it up a little bit, but we'll definitely announce every time they're coming out here. You can pick your time to come on down and meet all of us. And I believe end of February, early March, when our Spring Mayhem series kicks off, is the next time both these guys will be down here. So you should come on by, and so should everyone else. Don't miss out on our biannual series, the Spring Mayhem series. The main event in the fall version of the series had a $1.6 million prize pool for the main event. Big tournament. Come on down.
Come on down.
Back to the action. 10-6-5, turn 3. Neither player with much here. Brad's taking a stab. A little overbet here on the turn from Brad with the ace down of hearts. And Callaway's going to let it go.
Nice hand, Brad. Everything clicking in the early going for Brad Owen.
That was a confidence bet. That was a things are going well.
Yeah.
I'm picking my spots well. It's going to be a good session today.
Look at those chips. Look at that. Look at that stack pile of chips he's got.
I'm a big fan of towers.
Yeah.
I feel like the whole let's just get 1 or 2 big chips, and it doesn't feel like you're playing poker. I want to feel like I have a bunch of chips, and when someone gets stacked, a nice healthy portion gets sent my way. I don't like this. The World Series of Poker main event stuff where someone has 3 big chips. It just if you got 10 million chips, it should look like 10 million in chips.
Volume.
Volume. A couple more super chats coming in. Andrew Knowles, love the stream. Head to Vegas next week. Hope to run into Andrew or Brad if they're back by then. I think that they are headed back to Vegas, most likely Monday, I imagine.
Exactly. Back to Vegas. Short few days before the next trip out to LA, but definitely a couple more things on the agenda here before we get to that.
Do appreciate that, by the way. And then Clay Witten, $10 super chat. Just watched Brad double with jiggities. That is correct. I'm so happy to see it. He needed some run good. He did need some run good.
Did.
Brad's trip is turning around. Eddie looking down pocket 10s here, facing a $500 bet from Mike. I think he's going to go anywhere. Got the overpair. Got a little bit of, well, just the overpair, really. Deuce on the turn. Pretty good turn for the 10s. No scare card. Opponent's very unlikely to have a deuce. Mike's not going to fire again. He's going to check it back. 3 on the river. Neither player improves. Mike just the 10 high. What's Eddie going to do here on the river? He's going to go for a little bit of some value, or is he going to try and set the trap? Just thinking it over. I think that there might be some room for a small bet on this river. Try and induce a call from some high card hands. Some ace king, some ace queen.
Does go for that bet, but no value to be found here versus the 10 high.
Certainly the case.
Mike Gibney sends $2 Canadian, says, whatever happened to Isildur, Doug?
Oh, that's a great question. I imagine that bankroll management, finally took its toll.
We have Aaron Steph, $9.99. If I come down to Texas, can we play Heads Up, Doug?
Is that going to be a common thing? Well, we don't have that currently lined up, Aaron, but I might have to open up. Allow some people to have the experience of playing Heads Up with me at the lodge. Certainly possible. I'm gonna have to think about it.
That's charitable.
I didn't realize that there were people that would want to play Heads Up. To be frank, but it does seem that there are some people that do want to play some.
You
Heads
didn't
Up.
foresee that, huh?
Things are different in real life. It's not the internet anymore.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do? Just challenge someone online and they accept and you play 200, 400 for 6 months? That's not a thing.
Fair enough.
A Cardio XC. Doug, have you been tanning lately?
No. I have been self-tanning with all natural ingredients. That's right, all natural organic ingredients from Naru Organics. Are you tired of those streaky orange splotches on your fresh tank top bare arms at the poker table?
Yes.
Yes.
Bet
That's
I
right. Pasty white no more with Naru Organics. Get tan today, but don't sacrifice on quality ingredients.
I didn't realize we had a new sponsor. This is exciting.
Well, it is exciting, I'll tell you that much.
Boston Jimmy.
Ace and a spades. 250 to go. Jesse Sylvia, ace five of diamonds here in the straddle. Definitely a hand you can consider making a move with. Plays well against a variety of strong hands, but he's just going to go ahead and call. Keep this pot small. Play a little post flop for Boston Jimmy. King 4 deuce. Neither player improves in showdown value, but Jesse does have the gut shot here to the wheel. Boston Jimmy going to bet 250 on the flop, and now Jesse's got some choices. What are your thoughts here, Andrew?
From Jesse's perspective?
Yeah.
I don't mind the peel here. Ace high could be good sometimes. Equity to the wheel, as mentioned. Going to take a card off. Seems to make sense to me.
Would you ever consider maybe getting in there with a little spicy raise on the flop?
Possibly, but I would wonder if it's a little bit optimistic. 2 clubs out there, no diamonds, no backdoor diamonds for you.
That's fair. Ace-10 picks up the gutter on the turn and fires again, gets the fold, takes down the pot.
I just received word every table is filled right now. Here
In the
at the
entire
lodge.
room?
Well, we see a delay.
Yeah, we're on. No, we're live. We're live, so it's not true. There's one empty table. Head on down. That could be you. Come play at the final open table at the lodge. 60 tables, 59 filled. I imagine that, you know what, I'm going to just guess, 20 minutes from now, I bet you that thing's filled. We can see Ace King versus Jacks on the screen.
Everyone out there is going to get to enjoy that moment.
Absolutely. Back over to the action. Seems like the straddles might still be on.
Jack 3 sighting, but the wrong player.
$250 open here from Eddie with the Queen 10 of clubs. Rohit J, $2 super chat. Thank you, man. And then Twisty Puzzle, $10 super chat. Appreciate that as well.
Oh, okay. I thought I was going to have to give you $200. 7 dudes, flip.
To answer your question, though, Aaron, I could probably squeeze you in for a little heads-up match. It's possible.
Is Doug rocking the tank top? Yes. Can confirm.
Yep, I posted a quick little photo of us on my Instagram stories. If you want to head over there, you can see who's talking to you right now.
Well, I figured because we were going to be in the booth and you weren't going to see us that I'd wear my tank top, but I would wear it either way.
Kiori Sinco 1 with $9.99 asks, Brad Owen has jiggities. Nemi has favorable. Doug, what's your catchphrase?
I don't know, but what's up, guys?
I think it's what's up, guys.
I'll take it.
I didn't know either, but I'm French.
Mike, you're a young man. I have an excuse.
You go up from me. Homestead.
I think I haven't seen Jesse or Mike in quite some time, but I feel like when I see one, I do often see the other. They're pretty good friends, right?
They are. Both Las Vegas residents.
Jesse raising up the ace-8 here in the small blind. Takes it down.
Take it down. Shout out to Jesse Sylvia's fiance, I believe, Ashley, who also has a poker blog of her own. Been doing great with that. Great product.
I believe she was on the stream earlier this week.
She was in the tank team.
Andrew, I think we have a super chat inside joke for you, or this is just weird.
Ryan is watching. Hi there, Andrew Nemi. Since we last spoke, my roommate Keenan and I are both pregnant and currently celebrating with a glass of wine. That's great news, as is the $5 Canadian.
Is that an inside joke that you are not, in fact, in on? Or?
No.
Okay. All right. All right, back to the action. Callie is going to 3-bet with the ace-9 of clubs. Terras was making a move with the 8-7 offsuit. Punished, lets it go. Callie takes it down. Callie not looked at too fondly here in the great state.
Callie, you said?
Yeah, just in general. There's a bit of a disdain.
Are we talking about the player at the table or the state itself?
The state itself.
Okay,
the player.
Because that would have
seems
been
like a
really,
nice
really
enough guy.
cruel.
Is that a lot of chatter that you've heard as you've been table hopping here?
I've heard the chatter. Bit of chatter.
There's sort of a natural rivalry between California and Texas.
Yeah, well, you know, one of them is gaining all of the people from the other. So I think people are voting with their dollars and feet. Yeah, feet.
Dollars, that's debatable. Feet, yes.
I feel torn because I was born in California and I lived a lot of the early years of my life in California. But there's just a lot of downsides to living in California. There is one great upside, which is the weather is perfect.
Beautiful state.
Beautiful state. Maybe if you didn't have to worry about money, it'd be a great place to live. And shout out to all of our California viewers. Thank you for tuning in, as well as the rest of the country and internationally as well. Welcome to the Lodge. We have a 25-50-100 game going, and that's a flop. 9-6-3, 2 diamonds. Terras with the top pair second kicker and Flustra, a monster on the flop. Oh, against Mike's King Jack.
Was dominated, no more.
And then I guess they kind of like outsourced their betting.
Certainly the case. And a small bet here. 225. Small bet. What do you think about this one, Jake?
I think it's reasonable, you know. He wants to encourage a little something. I don't think Mike's going anywhere. He's got the backdoor flush draw, the overs, the backdoor straight draw, almost none of which are going to work out for him.
Does make the call 4 spades on the turn.
Nothing here developing for Mike. Terrace obviously still very happy with his hand. Expect to see another wager a lot of the time.
Thinking it over. Wants to bet, but doesn't want to get raised. If you check raise in spots like this, a lot of times you're going to be pretty solidly behind. He does have 14.4 thousand, it says in his stack. Although we don't see many chips. And by the way, if you don't know the chip denominations, it's classic style here at the Lodge. Oh, okay. That was interesting for a moment. Classic style here at the Lodge. $5 are red, 25s are green. Blacks are worth $100. Purples are $500. Yellows are $1K. And that pink chip on Rampage's stack is worth $5,000.
Love the colors of these chips. So bold.
And classic. I don't like when rooms get weird with the colors. I like just the simple, clean, classic look.
You mean like California does?
Your words, Andrew.
We have OMG, it's Dan in the chat, 499. He seems to be rooting for someone called Brandon, maybe a nickname for a player in the game.
Maybe.
SETI, letting it go on the cutoff. Pocket aces here for Jesse. Can he
Again.
get some action?
The second time he's had
Yeah,
the
this guy is
aces.
running really hot. Must be nice. Brad, looking down at the King 10 suited Broadway. Definitely could consider throwing out a raise. If he does, he's gonna get the bad news. Well played once again. Just the call. Brad is picking his moments perfectly tonight, except for that 7 deuce. That one wasn't too perfect. But other than that, picking his spots. King Jack Jack. Uh-oh. We could have some issues here for.
We got top pair. We got some jiggities. These spells trouble for Brad Owen.
You just forced your way that one in there, huh? No, you did. You definitely did.
You're goddamn right I did!
Check from Brad. Jesse sizing things up. Put the flop check through on the turn now. His aces are probably good. It is a nice bluff catching hand because your opponent more likely to have either a weak hand or a strong hand. So usually with aces, you like some passive lines like Jesse took on the flop with the check. But now he bets 300 bucks. Brad's decided to play his hand a little slow. You could consider a turn bet some of the time, but check probably the more prudent move. Easy check call for Brad here with his top pair. River's the 4 hearts, pairs the board. And Brad's going to lead small. $400 bet here on the river.
Interesting to see what Jesse makes of this bet. He reads it as Brad is intending, which is a blocker bet. Will Jesse go ahead and try and get some more value here?
I think it's going to work out for Brad because for Jesse to raise, it's just a little bit too thin. Brad could occasionally have a jack. He's probably going to call a good portion of 4s given the small turn size. So I don't really think that it's a spot where Jesse can really aggressively go for value, but he's reaching for chips. It's looking like that is actually not going to be true. And he does raise it up. Brad makes the call. Punished for the lead. And Brad, let's go with the king.
Well played by Jesse.
I don't know if I would always call in Brad's shoes there. I think I might mix in some folding and then of course some raising, but that's kind of my thing.
It's always interesting when there's slow play on the flop. Things lead to more betting on the river.
Yeah, it gets a little bit strange. Leaderboard here, a lot of players in the green, a lot of happy folk at the table. Brad leading the way up 7,000. Jesse slowly chipping his way up by having the nuts. A few other players up a couple $1,000. Our only losers so far, Mike Terras and Boston Jimmy. Boston Jimmy at the bottom of the scoreboard here, down $11.3 thousand.
Some super chats here. Brandon David. Andrew, last night you bet $180 on the river against Jason in a $555 pot. You had top pair ace to jack kicker. Jason had 2 pair. What was your thinking there? I think I was bluffing, if I remember correctly. I think we're talking about a PLO hand where I had a weak top pair. I had a heart in my hand. There was 3 hearts on board. Getting in the weeds here, but I was bluffing, if I'm thinking of the correct hand here.
It was the one with the deuce of hearts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Thanks.
Brad was convinced you were block betting. No, Brad, that's not what's happening here.
Definitely not.
Oh, Slick Rick himself with the $20
Ayo.
super chat. A new record surpassing Monday's 5,500. Y'all are killing it. Thank you, Slick Rick.
Thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in, Slick Rick.
Some kings for the poker traveler here.
Slick Rick and Skull Mike, the legends of the lodge themselves.
Yep.
Done all of the commentary thus far. Now we have a little bit of variety in the booth. But you guys are going to be able to hear them tomorrow night for the 100-200 game. They're going to be joined by Bart Hansen. Should be a fun one.
Eddie thinking about making a move here. The suited ace.
Oh, man, he's reaching for chips. Price is going to go up. And he does raise $1,650. If he had a read, it was a bad one because this is not the time to make a move. Poker Traveler, SETI, Pocket Kings facing the 3-bet. How will we play it? Probably you're going to want to re-raise, but does he want to call? Can he trap if he thinks Eddie's bluffing? Or is he going to try and go for more?
What do you think about having Brad behind him in terms of making his decision?
I think you just have to raise here. I don't think this is a spot you're going to want to call. Let Brad into the pot. And of course, if your opponent does have a hand like ace-queen, you're kind of okay forcing them out. And you're definitely going to be able to get some value from hands like queens, jacks, ace-king. Re-raise looks good. Size seems a little bit strange here. Making it 5,000 with 8,500 behind. Jake Abdallah likes to do this move with aces. I will never let you live that hand down, Jake.
Well,
I had 7s in that one, just like Brad did. See? Let it go. Couple fans stopped by the bunker looking in. Yep, we see you. Hello. Welcome to the bunker.
Aaron Steff sends $20 and says, thanks for the response. If it's not a heads-up match, I'd love to chat and talk poker/business. What's the best way to get in touch?
Let me get your handle on Twitter, Aaron. Tweet at me. But now we might get a bunch of fake Aarons.
You might not have. Now you will,
Yeah.
though.
Well, whatever. So shoot me a message on Twitter. Tweet at me, Aaron. I will get in touch with you.
and if you want to send Doug a letter, his home address is... But my mic got cut out. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we cut you out.
Ryan sends $5 and says, can you please tell us about the viewer giveaways again? Please and thank you. Love watching all y'all playing. Great commentary. Lodge.
The giveaway is seat 4, Boston Jimmy. If he looks down and has 7 deuce or jack 3. Ooh, Brad with the 7 deuce, and he's playing it tricky. I like it. Oh, Callie had jack 3. We had both hands we were looking for, but neither one of them by Boston Jimmy. Boston Jimmy with 10s.
Oh, this is trouble.
I was thinking a lot about this. Why? Because did you just want to say that?
Well, he flopped a pair, you know. It's a cooler, I mean.
Yeah, this is a brutal situation here for Brad. I wonder if he can get away. Brad does bet the flop. Boston Jimmy makes the check call. I was going to say something, and then I got derailed, so.
Oh,
okay.
I told her it was
All
trouble.
Right. Okay, now this is confirmed some trouble. 3 of a kind for Jimmy on the turn. Check. 10 on the river.
Quads.
4
City.
of a kind.
Quads for Boston Jimmy.
The backdoor quad draw.
Wow, this is a very disguised quads.
Oh, he checks it over, and
Brad's
Brad is
gonna
going for it.
Turn the duck into a bluff.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Yes, it did. Up against the 4 of a kind.
It's about to escalate a little further.
Oof. Jimmy now, of course, going to raise with the nuts. He's got to think about size. Does he want to go big? Does he want to really try and swing for a home run? Or does he want to go for a smaller raise that might get called by a few thinner hands? See what he goes for. Goes for something pretty standard. I think about 4,200. Somewhere between both of those options. Roughly a 3x raise here on the river. A little bit bigger.
Brad's got his curiosity face on.
Oh, man. Brad is considering jamming the river over this raise.
Gotta love the 7 deuce game. It just inspires so much courageous play. He's at least thinking about it.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
The flat call.
Wow.
He makes the call.
Hard to put a man on quads, you know.
It's true. When you're on the fence and you like with the call and you call, it's almost better to see the quads than, you know, because you're like, well, I knew he was repping not too much, you know.
Yeah.
When you get showed like the thin value, that's what really cuts deep.
Yep.
I know those feels. Wow, Brad has squandered some winnings down to plus 1.8 now. Evening out the field here, Boss Jimmy gets a big chunk back from Brad. Still at the bottom of the leaderboard, down 6.4 thousand. Jesse Sylvia moving into the lead, sticking to premiums like aces and ace king. He's getting it done. Rampage with a nice move up 2.5 thousand as well. That flush draw check raise where he got Terras to fold his queens. Good for a plus 2.5k session thus far.
Unknown Prodigy with the $2 dono and says, no.
No. Yeah, I'm familiar with that. Fold. Fold. Fold.
Jake, how did you feel about playing on the stream? Was that your first time playing on a live stream?
I had at least once before, a couple times before. Once in the main event, once in a couple final tables. But it was my first live stream cash game and first live stream at the lodge a couple weeks ago. It was a good time. It was a good game. We played 5, 10, 25. Often it was 50, 100, even 200. Re-straddled, and the 7 deuce game like they're playing. A lot of action.
Did it feel weird at all to you, knowing that there was a stream going? Like, you know, everyone's seeing your cards and your plays, or do you just kind of just do your thing and don't really think about it?
It didn't really bother me because I haven't like played that much of that format anyway, and I was just like kind of splashing around and having a good time.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't advise playing the way I played. My goal was to just play as many hands as possible, and I succeeded. And I won some money. It was fun.
Andrew, I like this tweet where you tweeted a picture of the room and said, in this picture we have several all bomb pot cash games, Doug Povid's playing heads up, a 500k guarantee tournament, a live stream about to broadcast 2850 NL with Brado and Rampage and Mr. Jesse James 4. Lots of other cash games. Quite the scene here with a picture of it all going on. It really actually is a lot of stuff all going on at the same time.
It's pretty amazing. Just the vibe here. There's so much energy here right now.
There's so many tables that are filled here. So many tables. So many games. Find pretty much anything you'd want to play here. VPIP is the table. Mike leading the way, 35% VPIP. Jesse, 30%. Ross and Jamie, 30% as well. All the way down to Rampage, playing tight. Only 9% here for Rampage.
Kind of surprising.
I've heard Rampage punts hard, but then every time I see Rampage play, he seems to play reasonable and
possibly dialing it in. He is relatively new to poker overall, so you know, throughout the course of his vlog and these live stream appearances, we're sort of like watching a player develop. So
we're watching him blossom into a beautiful flower.
Lovely. Kingfish sends $10 and says, "Someone please make sure Brad ends up with cab fare. The Deuce 7 game is cursed." It can be. I mean, that's kind of the point, right? You know, you get in there with 7 deuce, it's going to be an adventure. As advertised.
I was thinking about this a little bit. When you play the 7 deuce game, I think you actually need to mix up how you play it a bunch because it's tempting to just 3-bet and try and take it down. I've done a lot of that lately. But you need to sometimes go for the way that Brad played it, where you call and then try and play some post flop, maybe check some streets, get a little crafty. Could be a nice hand instead of bluffing with some blocker hand to, when someone bets the river, raising with your 7 deuce instead. Because even though obviously your blockers are not relevant anymore to help you get them to fold, it allows you to balance out the way you play your 7 deuce and maybe win more pots. I don't know, something to think about.
Interesting. Might be worth the upswing little article there.
7 deuce module. That would actually be kind of fun. This hand we see King 4 up against Ace 10 on Jack 3 deuce rainbow.
And then 1 year they
Bet here for Terra's. Poker Traveler makes the call. Ace on the turn. We now have a wheel draw for Poker Traveler. Top pair for Terra's. Said he keeps telling the story. 350 to go. Relatively small bet. Terra's might consider a raise. By the way, Aaron, save tweet at DougBookVids. Looks like I mentioned. Shoot you a message. Figure something out.
Terrace going nowhere. Top pair. Off to a river card. Puts forward with straight on board. Poker Traveler makes a pair. Gonna try and get the showdown here with his pair.
I've been on quite the sober grind lately, and really this week is the first week that's been pretty brutal. As
yeah,
Jake cracks open a ranch water. Those are nice, actually. Is that the spicy one? Yeah.
Yes, spicy ranch water. I also brought some scotch in case Andrew would like to maximally torture Doug.
Interesting.
Oh wow, that was very kind of you, Jake.
I think I might. I just might.
Perfect.
I mean, if you feel too bad, I'd also give you some.
Thank you, Jake. For those of you in the chat that don't know about this, I have a free roll going with Jake and another friend here in Austin that I cannot drink for 8 months other than a 1 weekend carve out. I am over a month sober. But if I do drink, I owe Jake a reasonably large amount of money. And he has brought the lovely drinks here tonight to try and bait me into a profitable evening session.
As one does.
What a guy.
That's what friends are for.
$20 from God Annihilator 22, who says, Brad's a goat. Love it. Thanks for the $20. Brad is a goat. How many subs does Brad have now? I lose track.
It's a very large number. The bomb pot tables are still going. We still have a couple bomb pot tables. Little 1-2-5 PLO in the room. Little 2-5 going. 3 tables of that. A 5-10-20 is broken.
Really?
4-1-3 tables. 10-1-2 tables. Yeah. 5-5 PLO as well. Tournament tables alive and well. Brad looks down to the pocket tens, one notch below the hand we'd love to troll with, but here we go. Pocket tens. Ace queen suited for Callie. 10-9 suited for Jesse. Callie with just the smooth call with the ace queen of clubs. Wait, hold on. He's thinking about it. Oh, yeah. Okay, he called. And now Jesse raises it up with the worst hand of all of them. 1.5 thousand to go. Said he gets out of the way. Boston Jimmy folds. He don't know his hand. Mike with the Jack 3. Almost had the Jack 3 bonus. We're getting teased with some of these.
We need to see Boston Jimmy's hands. We can't have him not.
Yeah. Well, if he folded that fast, it couldn't have.
I'm sure he'll think about it. Brad with the flat. And I think here on the button, with the ace queen suited, Callie is going to want to probably take a flop as well. He's unwrapped his hand, didn't re-raise. It's one of the strongest hands you'd probably be flatting facing an open ace queen suited. Ace king, you'd almost certainly imagine he'd be 3-betting. And is he cutting out a raise? Wow. A raise here would work out magically.
He knows Jesse is capable putting in this kind of a 3-bet squeeze. That ace queen suited does look pretty.
I don't know what he's going to do. I'm almost getting a little bit of a he's considering folding vibe. Oh, he's going to, I think he's going to, is he? What do you think here? It looks like a raise?
It looks like a raise.
Oh,
it's a little shaky, you know? Looks like he's got some adrenaline going.
This is a spot where you can raise, fold, or call, but you probably shouldn't do two of those things.
Probably. Probably should just call. However, sense some weakness, and he's going to put both players in terrible, terrible, terrible spot.
Yeah, this is actually, you know, pretty great given what they have.
Wow, now for Brad.
Gets it through.
Let's it go.
Very nice play, in this case at least.
That spot is strange because I don't think that, in theory, you're supposed to really trap on the button there because you're protected by the opener's range. So if you get squeezed, the opener is going to 4-bet you a bunch and then also have all their good hands. So I think, typically speaking, solutions don't have too many traps there on the button. So that line shouldn't really happen, but sometimes it does, and you can see how confused Brad looks.
Yeah, and as a player, if you just see someone bust out that move out of the blue, it's pretty terrifying. I mean, it's you know.
Brad told me about a hand he played in either a 1-3 or 2-5 game where something similar happened. There was a player that had back raised, and Brad had ace-king suited, and Brad just, of course, wasn't a believer, and got it all in with ace-king suited and ran right into the aces.
A little PTSD tonight.
Brad actually won that hand. but he was probably thinking of that, knowing that it is possible for the occasional player to have it and then find the back raise, as we see another 7-deuce here.
Totally possible. And when someone does do it, you imagine that they would balance it somewhat, but
I was just dead. I was just debating.
But still, it doesn't really happen that much, I don't think, in theory anyway. But in Texas, it does. 7-deuce opens from Rampage, playing the 7-deuce game, looking to collect that bounty. Gets a call in the straddle from Mike. Queen, queen 10. Mike checks it over. Small bet on the flop from Rampage. Now Mike has the backdoor king high flush draw, but not much else going on. There's a small bet. Lets it go.
Ship it.
No!
So it's $100 from every player except for the last guy who folded, who has to pay a double bounty.
Yep.
Oh, interesting. That's a nice twist.
A little extra pain for that guy.
It is.
Is that a real roll? Almost like you were disgusted. When I made it to 350 or when I made it to
Clay Witten, $20. Andrew, I played a 5-5 2 days ago. Dealt 10s under the gun, multi, flopjack 10-9 rainbow. One had top set, other flopped it straight, ran it twice. I rivered quads on the first board and runner flush on the second for a 1.2K pot. You love to see it. Beautiful. Thanks for the $20 donation there, Clay.
I've honestly been disgusted that I got them under the gun. That was where I was. No, you weren't under the gun though. You were like.
Preston Curry. Hey, Nimi, congrats on the successful opening week. Been a lot of fun seeing from a distance. Hope to visit soon. Hope so too, Preston. Thanks for the $5. Pepe, 25.80. I won a home game tonight. 1K Swedish kroner. So here is $20 to Slick Rick's Joke Book Fund, Sandwich Fund. Great poker stream, so likable and fun to watch. Get this Cody guy on Cash Game Stream ASAP.
Very much appreciated here.
All right, which of these bottles is the one, Jake?
It's the one in the box.
This is just honestly torture. Is that the bottle that I had to give you when I got out of the last free roll?
It's the same kind. It's not the.
Oh, you
it's
liked
not
it.
the actual same bottle.
Okay, you liked it.
The one that you gave me is already gone.
I had a free roll going last year, where I, in order to get out of it, had to buy my two friends bottles of scotch to get a night off.
Yep.
Yeah. Tough times. Tough times here. How many days have I been sober for? I started on the 26th of December, the day after Christmas. I said enough's enough. Drawing a hard line here. Yeah, it's been over a month, 32 days. Brad back in another hand. He just can't get enough of the action here. Pocket twos, nothing out there. Up against an open-ended straight draw. 10-7-4. Nice spades on the turn. So to go along with Callie's open-ender, he now has the flush draw too. Can sometimes choose just to check this back, try and realize your equity. And he does as I do that. I actually do like this play from time to time. Oh my god, deuce on the river!
The deuce.
The perfect action card comes in! This is horrible for Brad.
Oh, no.
Oh, he overbets 4K, gets the snap from the flush, sees the bad news.
Man, that is unlucky.
What a river.
Oof.
What a run out.
Do you remember back in the day when we said that this is going to be a good session for Brad?
After the first orbit when he had all the chips? Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a simpler
it
time.
was a simpler. I was going to make the same. It was a simpler time, chat. It was a simpler time. And chat, we are looking to try and get some overtime going tonight. If you guys hit 2,000 likes by the time we get to 10:30, we're going to go ahead and kick this thing into overtime.
Cutoff time's 10:30. Everybody knows that. It's a 10:30 cutoff.
That's right. It is 10:30 cutoff. We are at 1.5K. We have 500 more likes to go. I was doing so great in the no drinking, and then this week has been really, really tough because every day is just everyone's drinking, hanging out, having a good time, smelling like alcohol, and then I get told hand histories where people smell like they have a beer and crack open a cold one, and I'm just sad.
You got your Diet Coke there.
I do have a Diet Coke there. Did I tell you the story about when Brad drank my Diet Coke?
I don't think so.
So we're playing the stream on Monday, and I have a Diet Coke behind me. I play a hand. I go back to have a sip of my Diet Coke. And I look back, and it's gone. And I said, that's weird. And I look over, and Brad's sitting next to me, chugging a Diet Coke. And I look at him, and I look back. And I look at him, and I said, Brad, is that my Diet Coke? And he looked at me, and he looked back at the table, and I looked back at me and said, probably. And I said, it is my Diet Coke. And he nodded, he said, yes. I said, how long have you been drinking that Diet Coke for? And he said, it's...
Appreciate it. Nice how he just sends $20 every time he has
Very
a
nice.
sentence.
Very
Nice guy.
nice. Yeah, definitely. I just checked.
We got ITN 1968 also with $20 here. Sorry I'm late. Now you can have proper shenanigans on the stream.
Excellent.
I don't see this tweet from anyone.
Lucky to be able to watch while working. Nice.
I don't see it.
Robert Carlin, 5 Australian, is that? Not sure. Y'all reckon Brad is using this stream week to build his image as a fish, hustling for the rest of the year?
Yes.
Quick freeze. We lost about 1,000 viewers there, but guys, if there is a freeze in the stream, it comes back. You have to refresh it. I'm not exactly sure why that happens, but if you refresh it, it should go through. Mixin Poker, what's up, chat? Just dropping in and say hi. Thanks, Mixin, for stopping by today. Good to see you in the chat.
I was playing with Mixon today in the Bomb Pot game. Friendly guy. Brought the barbecue to our stream game.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I was going to ask him how the tournament went, but apparently if he was in your Bomb Pot game, it probably didn't go too well.
Yeah.
Jack 7-5, Skittles. 10-9 with the gutter here. Going to make the nuts on an 8. King Queen for Boston Jimmy. 2 overs. Terrace just lets it go with the 10-9. Yeah, it would be nice to hit that 8, but out of position. Hard to manage turns where you don't improve.
I saw a quick glimpse of Haley in the background there, holding her camera. She's been hanging out here with us this week, shooting some awesome photos that we've been sharing on social media.
Absolutely. So let me tell a brief Haley story. I'm sure she'd be okay with it. She told me for the pictures to wear my nicest bro tank. I wore my bro tank, and the next day I wore a regular shirt. She said, why didn't you wear that for the photo shoot that we did on Wednesday? I said, you told me to wear the bro tank. She She said, she looked at me and I think she thought that maybe she was joking or thought that I wouldn't wear it or maybe that I should. There was a miscommunication. But yeah, we got all the nice pictures for here with me in my bro tank.
Yep. Great photos, great photos.
Just a good professional look for the business, I think, Andrew.
I saw some of those comments, yeah.
At least it's authentic.
Yep.
You can't put a price on authenticity.
Brad Owen back in the mix here, making the call with the ace-queen off suit.
I swear this guy's in every single hand.
But he keeps getting hands and 7 deuce, so, you know.
Yeah.
We have a battle of a couple of Las Vegas natives here, but Mike's going to be the victor here with the king high.
This is getting kind of rough for Brad. Not that he's stuck much. I mean, I think he's in it for 10 or 15. I forget. I don't know. 10, I think. It was lost about 15 seconds ago.
It's like he's not playing very aggressive today. It's like dead air for 10 seconds. Very aggressive. There we go.
Not used to the soundboard. I do like it, though.
I think it's a cool touch.
Yeah, it is.
It's tempting to just like press them all the time, but I'm just trying to practice
What
a bit of discretion.
What happens if you press them all at once? Debating between showdown value or value. Betting for value. Very small wager.
So how do you win if you're the last one again? So you mint, and then if nobody else mints for 30 days, you get the money.
King on the River is good, takes it down.
You get half the money.
Got a question from Andiv Dumb again. Do you think a soft local casino game of 1-2 no limit hold'em with a rake of 10
to showcase their talent and be able to be winning players?
In other words, more rake is not better.
I had never thought of it in that way, but that does actually seem to make a little bit of sense.
Like everything will happen, and then you just come in and claim it. So like if 17,000 mints happen, then all of the youth in existence will be 7 dues. So 17,000 is like the absolute. I guess I have to. Yeah, but if I have 7 dues. Sure. So right now we're at 3,500.
Seems like there is the occasional technical difficulty happening on the stream. Definitely aware of it, guys. Try and sort it out on our end. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, but then by your logic, that makes sense to mint. Because then nobody else will want to mint, so you mint and everybody will think like what you're saying. The other pair too. 23 hours and 59 minutes. Yeah, that's probably true.
Pocket fives here for Boston, Jimmy.
So it looks really cool. Oh, so even if you lose, you still get the art. Yeah, you get the art, and, and you can.
Up against the deuce for SETI. I think neither player is going to want to make this too large. They both have some showdown value. Jimmy, though, going to bet the turn, 450. It's actually going to be a nice value bet if he can coax SETI into a check call, and he does. 87% to win this hand. Jack on the river. Check from SETI. Hoping his deuce is good. It is not. What's Jimmy going to do here? Is he going to try and go for another value bet? Ooh. Wow. Wow. Fires the river. At this point, I think he's bluffing. But if SETI makes the call, he's going to be behind. This is a thin value bet. We're into merge territory, Andrew. We're into merge territory.
For this sizing, you wouldn't think it's value, but I think he bet 16 something. Traveler's going to let it go.
The funny thing there is, you could tell that Traveler or SETI or whatever we're gonna call him here tonight. You could tell that SETI really wanted to call. His instincts were this looks kind of.
Our feed looks as normal, but seeing in the chat that you guys are experiencing a bit of lag. Not sure if a refresh on your end will fix it. Guessing not, but definitely aware of it and working on it.
What is the GTO strategy? I guess the GTO strategy is hope BTC nukes to 15K, get a massive bear market.
A little BTC talk at the table.
Nobody's thinking about it anymore. I like that bluff with that guy.
Rampage coming in with the raise, 2 broadways. Boston Jimmy is going to defend the straddle with the 8-5 suited. Rampage flopping top pair here. Gut shot for Jimmy. I think this goes check here.
Does appear to be the case. 10 diamonds on the turn. The 8-5 is going to be tempted to take a stab. Open ender. Jack or a 6 will make a straight for Jimmy. Rampage with the top pair. He's going to at least call. Just too likely he's good. I consider a raise, but he just does make the call. Setting up for a bit of a showdown here on the river. If Jimmy bricks, he's got a nice bluff hand. But he hits the 6.
There we go.
Straight now for Boston Jimmy. And you just like to hear that the man giving away money to the chat is getting there against better hands. You know, karma exists.
Absolutely. Checks it here on the river. See what Rampage decides to do. Third heart getting there, and 4 to a straight. Wisely checks it back.
Jimmy went for a little bit of a trap there. Seems like he might like the trap. He also trapped with the pocket 10s, where he checked it over to Brad and owned Brad's soul. So he's certainly looking to protect that range on the river with some crafty checks.
Some arbitrager didn't want people to swap, so they just kept spamming the network, and then people can get their transactions through.
What do you make of this?
We see you, Brad.
This win to showdown.
We see you. Well,
stat.
I think that Brad likes his showdowns. And
what do you take from this stat?
He likes to see what the other guy has. I don't know. Is there another way to take it?
I was just wondering if I was missing something.
And those 3 guys with 0, they don't like showdowns at all.
They don't care.
Their reads
they don't want to see.
Their reads are so good that they go all in if they're ahead and they fold if they're behind. They don't actually need to see a showdown ever.
Yeah.
That's what that stat teaches us.
What about the aggression frequency statistic?
Are you mocking our statistics here in the bunker?
No, I'm genuinely curious about it because I've seen it on multiple live streams. So I was just wondering if there's anything that you could teach the audience about those statistics.
An in-depth analysis of what those numbers mean, head over to upswingpoker.com.
Thanks, Jake. Don't do that to check out those numbers. Although, actually, now that I think about it, Mike has probably written many an article on that, or some of our content team. But basically, aggression frequency is aggressive actions divided by passive actions that are not fold. So really, it's just it's aggressive actions divided by total actions that are not fold, I think. It's a not very relevant stat, but it does give you a little bit of an idea of how aggressive people are playing when they put money into the pot. And then went to showdown really just is exactly what it sounds like. It's how often they get to the end of a hand. And the higher that number is, the harder it tends to be to bluff people. But realistically, in a one-session sample of live poker, it just means who got the aces, or the jiggities in this case. That would be Brad.
The jiggity man.
A lot of jiggities. 2 ace-queens here, both suited, both black. Let's see what flop we got. Well, whoa. One of them hit and one of them did not. Flopping a flush here for Terras. Brad once again in there. Could be a long night for Brad.
I think Brad's just, he's kind of feeling it. I think he's kind of wearing it on his sleeve a little bit here. I'd be surprised to see him put any extra dollars in this pot. Just looking at him and his holding, of course.
Do you ever feel like poker just can beat you down, Andrew?
Sure can. Brad finds the fold before Terrace can even assemble the wager there.
So the way I make money is by...
Maybe joining the lodge was the long game of getting us to show up here with money. To lose the money at the lodge. What do you think about that?
It's a theory.
It's definitely a theory because I'll tell you what, I'm the #1 loser at the lodge this month, and Brad's looking to make a play for second place.
Yeah, well, it's interesting this week. It's all going to come to a head on the Saturday stream. By far the biggest stakes. So, I mean, that one session will sort of determine things.
A lot of people interested in playing too. I think we're going to get. It looks like we're going to get a couple of games going tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Anyone can head down to the lodge and play 100, 200, 20 min. And then at 7:30, we're going to have a stream that goes live. I think there might be a game on the side during that stream. I don't want to promise that, but it looks like that could definitely happen.
Jesse finds aces for the 3rd time this session.
Poker fair? No. Teddy with the ace jack. The funniest part about this is Jesse has been super active at this table. and has had it just almost every time. There's a 10-9 suited where he did face that back raise. But that's going to make it really tempting to try and fight back. And if Seti does, he's going to get the bad news. Gets out of the way. Good for Seti.
Good instincts again for the Poker Traveler.
Yep.
Rampage. King 10 suited. Oof. Lets it go.
Tough spot, facing a raise and a re-raise before it gets to him.
Terra seems like he might make the call, asking how much the wager is. Nope.
Lays it down.
Yeah, you should have. I have it.
Have you heard of the Ethereum cash flow model? That you can analyze.
Have you heard of the Ethereum cash flow model? What do you guys think?
I have not heard of that one. I'll be honest. Actually, maybe I have heard of that one. Just how much like revenue it's generating, or through its usage.
Maybe. That could be a thing. I don't know.
Maybe
if I've
not.
heard it.
Revenue might not be the right word, but just fees that it's.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard it called that, the cash flow model. I've never heard of that specifically, but I could be that.
If
sounds real.
Jake, if I was looking to purchase some crypto assets, do you know a place where someone might be able to go and do that?
Step on down to Coinbase.
Coinbase? No.
Are they our new
Flex,
sponsor?
CoinFlex.
Oh, right. I
CoinFlex.
forgot about CoinFlex.
No.
I was there. You asked
that
the
joke
wrong.
was on purpose, right? Did you, what?
I forgot about CoinFlex. I'm not a CoinFlex brand ambassador.
I was ready for you
You
there,
even
Doug.
opened with coin, and I thought you were going the misdirection joke. You say coin, and then it's Coinbase, and you just did that on accident. Oh my God, that's
I was
too
ready.
good.
I was ready for you there.
Thank you.
All right, Doug, I have to come clean. When I've watched your podcast, I've mostly skipped the ads. So I honestly didn't know you could buy crypto there.
Wow.
I thought it was like a workout thing, like I don't know, flex. I don't know.
We got a 3-bet hand here. Jesse opens the 10s, and Poker Traveler 3 bets with the suited 1-gapper.
Thanks for the help with that one, Jake.
Jesse makes the call.
Hey, if you want to become an official sponsor of the Lodge stream, we'll we can talk about it.
Yeah, that's certainly true.
People lining up.
Said he's going to bet the 9-7. Bit of an interesting spot to bet. Backdoor flush draw, bottom pair. And it could really work out here for him. He could definitely get Jesse to fold his 10s. Having 10s here kind of sucks. You block Queen 10, Jack 10, those types of hands that might want to bluff. It is a small-ish bet, so you might want to call, but the removal effects aren't good with 10s. And the bet from 9-7 does work out for Seti taking down the pot.
The power of aggression. Putting in the 3-bet, finding a good flop for his range, as they say.
I knew about Arbitrum like way before they launched.
They don't say that down here, Andrew.
My bad.
You must have forgot where you were.
I think all of these also do.
I did.
So it's a good idea to get on.
Boston Jimmy, firing 45%. Man of the people, giving you guys $100 every time he's got Jack 3 or 7 deuce. Let us know if you see it. We've been trying to monitor it, but it's always possible one slips through the cracks. I think if he gets one, he's gonna wait for a bit just so we can tune in, I would imagine.
Yep. James Norman, $2. Brad is having an week, but he's still great. I agree.
Simple. Brad's a good dude. I'm really happy for him that he built what he's built. Definitely deserves it. Put in the time. Nice to see good things happen to good people.
So he finds another 3-bettable hand back to back here.
Ace King offsuit. Callie, let's go the 8-7 suited.
Now I'm just getting
It's a nice looking watch Boston Jimmy's got on. I wonder what that one is.
I think I own some like big.
You much of a watch guy, Andrew?
I'm not.
Yeah, same. How about you, Jake?
Never had a watch. Well, I had a Casio when I was 10, but yeah.
That does tell time, so similar.
Similar.
I have a few watches. I went through a little bit of a watch phase, then I decided I wasn't really much of a watch guy. It doesn't flow well with the tank tops. You kind of got to take your pick on that one.
Yeah, I've never been much into the jewelry, any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Rings, necklaces.
Yeah. Certain.
A friend of mine that you know, Zach, is really into watches, but I've learned from him that if you get into it, sometimes like the more expensive ones, if you do it right, they can become investments and they go up in value. The rarer and the more expensive they are.
Yeah, I learned that pretty recently myself. I didn't know that was a thing.
A player I played a bunch with a few years back, Jeremy Kaufman, plays a lot on some of the Poker Night America streams. He was explaining to me once, we got some dinner, he was explaining how if you're going to get a high-end car, you can't buy a 200 or 300K Ferrari. You have to make sure you buy a 700K one, because then it's going to be unique enough where it will appreciate over the years. But unfortunately, I'm not in the market for $700,000 cars. But if I was going to buy something nice, it's good to know. Yeah. Also, what Jeremy didn't plan on was a chip shortage where every single car went up in value. So that would play a role as well.
The joke's on you. My Kia just went up 120%.
We got a 4-bet hand here, and I don't think it's going to work out too well for Rampage.
Mike does go all in, and Rampage lays it down. Ace King suited takes it down. How good do you feel jamming Ace King suited against someone whose name is Rampage? Good, right? Good?
Real good.
Feel pretty good.
What if someone played in the stream and their handle was just Old Man Coffee?
I'd probably still jam Ace King suited.
Yeah.
I'd assume that they were like a Rampage in disguise.
Oh, you think that it's 2 on the nose?
Yeah.
So then you don't want to get an inverse Rampage.
We could try it. I mean, we could probably put whatever names we want for ourselves on these streams.
Yeah, we could. But none of us could be Old Man Coffee. It doesn't really make sense. We're not young enough for it to be tongue-in-cheek like calling the big guy tiny, and we're not old enough to be Old Man Coffee.
The other problem is the other players at the table don't know what your display name is, so they wouldn't even know you were Old Man Coffee.
Right, also correct.
All right.
Jesse
Never mind.
balancing his range out once again. He likes 10-9 suited, he likes aces. Raises up 10-9 suited this time around. Diet Cokes all around. Bottle of water. I didn't think do we have those at the lodge?
Yeah.
Maybe in the vending
Buy
machine.
them over there. Or over there.
Oh, I see. We don't. Okay. Were we working on that?
Cedric's got a coffee frappuccino.
I think we were going to get that.
You can fill these up with free water there, or you can buy it out of the bottle, but we might mix it up.
What was the brand of the ones you buy?
The brand, the like normal looking ones are from the little food area, and then in the vending machine you can buy Fiji, Topo Chico, La Croix.
Wow. A little French influence here at the lodge.
That was a lovely little
La Croix
pronunciation.
Thank you.
Queen 9 tray, bottom pair for Callie, middle pair for Jesse. You know, Skull Mike has all of the names of all of the people. We really should have gotten that when we got in here. It also had what the giveaway was, which hands. It had all kinds of great information. He sat us down, he told us it, and he left with it.
It's probably better in our hands.
I think so.
It is his.
But you know what is good in our hands? The upcoming schedule for tournaments coming to you end of February. February 23rd, we have the Monthly Monster. By the way, guys, every single month, end of month, Monthly Monster runs. 500K guarantee. We're going to smash that out of the park this time. It's looking like 700-800K will end up being the total prize pool, but it will be at least 500,000, that's for sure.
What happened? Did we go dark? We're back.
We're back. Anyway, that will be on the 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th. 4 fights for that. Event number 4 for the Spring Mayhem Series. This is all part of the Spring Mayhem Series. Mystery Bounty. We're going to have a 300K Mystery Bounty tournament on February 27th. Then we're going to have the main event of our biannual series, the Spring Mayhem Series, $1.5 million prize pool, and a guarantee on that. We got 1.6 in the fall. I think we're going to crush that this time around, hopefully. That's a $1,200 buy-in, and as the main event of the spring series. You got to come on out, check it out. Late February, early March. More information will be available on the website. Google the Lodge Poker Club. 10-9, middle pair, held up the whole way through. Board getting a little dicey for both players. Check, check. 10-9 takes it down.
Very spicy turn card there, but action actually checked through on that card. River changes nothing. Paul Kim sends $5 and says, loving the commentary tonight. You guys are cracking me up. On a side note, can you guys tell Joey Ingram the poker world misses him? Hope he is well. Thanks, Paul, for the message and the $5. You chat with Joey much, Doug?
No. I have not talked with Joey in about 6 months. 5 months.
I think he's on a non-poker journey these days. I know he's dabbling heavily into the crypto world.
I've heard the same.
Getting his learn on.
For sure. For sure. He's been focusing on some other things. All right, I understand wanting to take a step back and not have to deal with, you know, all the things that come along with producing content and kind of the work that goes into it, or maybe some of the social media type stuff. So I can understand.
And there's different approaches to taking a step back. You could put out a YouTube video announcing your retirement, or you could just go dark for 6 months and, you know, different styles for different players.
Would you say the retirement video works best if you don't retire?
It's the Jay-Z business model. You retire a couple times, make an album about it, and then you don't actually retire. It's a beautiful thing.
I did that, but without the album.
Well.
You know, me, Jay-Z, similar kind of thing is going on here.
Very similar.
VPIP, this one we know. Rampage at 13%, Eddie at 15%. Jesse, Boston, Jimmy, Mike, and Callie are the loosest players tonight.
Jesse's playing incredibly loose with aces and ace-queen.
2 10-9 suited, Jake. Don't forget those.
He's mixing it up with a 10-9 suited, yeah.
You always say VPIP. You never say VPIP.
VPIP. No, I don't say that.
How do you guys say the big tournament every summer in Vegas, the acronym? How do you pronounce that?
WSOP.
The same.
You never say WSOP?
No.
No.
I've never been one.
I said WSOP the other day, and someone was like, what? They were like, what the hell is wrong
Well,
with
I would
you?
know what you mean, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't. Yeah, I would judge you a little.
I feel like I've mostly said WSOP, and it might just, maybe it's just me, I don't know.
I mean,
No,
I've heard it before.
Yeah, it's a thing.
All right.
It's a thing. It's wrong, but it's a thing. Jack 10-3, Skittles, top pair for Poker Traveler, moves into the lead. Jack 9 suited, and then Mike with the gutter ball to the nuts, Ace King. King on the turn, Ace King moving into the lead. However, both players also pick up gutters. So he checks it over to Mike. Mike now got a little decision to make. He can pot control. Not too many draws to worry about. It has the gutter to the nuts, and there's no flush out there, but he's going to try and get a little bit of value with the top pair, top kicker. Wow. Quick lay down from Seti.
Immediate fold from Cedric.
Well played. Very well played. Yeah, it's a spot where when you're behind, you're quite often very far behind there, and obviously your straight draw's not very good. Not a lot of playability in the river. Makes sense to me.
Adric High, glad you liked the Mount Rushmore pick. Sends $10 in that message.
Matt T. Super chat. Doug, define 3-bet range in 15 seconds. Go.
When someone opens and you re-raise them with a set of hands, all of the hands in that set are the range of hands that you're 3-betting.
14, 15. He did it in 14.
Is that good?
That was good.
Okay, cool.
He was probably looking for your specific 3-bet range in every possible situation, but hey, you know, you tried.
Yeah, that would be tough. Mainly because I don't know mine. I played some heads up today. It was refreshing not being an idiot. You know? I just...
You mean like versus the full ring?
Well, yeah, because when I play a full ring, I'm just clicking buttons and...
So your definition of idiot is how all of us play all of poker all the time.
Yes. Correct.
Okay, good. Just checking.
Yes, correct.
Dake Tricks Stunna, $10 and says, come on, Brad, make a comeback. Rooting for Brad to grow that stack of Bradley dollars.
Brad's not had a hand in it a little bit here. Obviously, that happens a lot in poker, but just the frequency at which he was playing hands, it He's playing. He was in almost every hand for a little while there, and now he's getting back into a more reasonable card distribution, is what I say as he raises up the pocket kings.
No, he flat calls the pocket kings.
Oh, I'm sorry. He just calls the open. You're right. That's correct. And Jesse Sylvia with the.
There's no right way to play jiggities, so it doesn't matter what I do.
My goodness. This could be the
Brad
spot.
Owen has set the trap against the jiggities.
Okay, the fact that this hand is what let. I say, you know, he's actually not played a couple of hands here, and then he just gets kings versus jacks.
Jesse Sylvia
How?
continuing to play extremely loose with his with his premium holdings.
Looks like Brad will probably find a back raise of his own. Could continue with the trap here, but we'll see.
This is actually really weird that he faced a back raise he shouldn't face, and now he's going to back raise someone that he shouldn't back raise, probably. Is he going to? He re-raises him.
$5,000.
$5,000. He's just jamming. It's a jam, but with a weird size. Jesse's not happy about this, but he's going to think that this could be something like 10s or 9s, and that's going to just make it so he can't get away from jacks. I just don't think there's a world where he gets away from jacks here.
I mean,
It's just going to be too hard. If there's any chances of 10s or 9s, you can't do it. Maybe occasionally your opponent has something like 8th king or ace queen. Your opponent shouldn't be trapping those high pairs that often. Yeah, you can run to queens. That's probably the main one you're worried about, but I just don't think he's going to be able to get away, especially because he's been so active at the table. There's a little bit dynamic at play here, but unless he thinks that Brad's only going to back raise with super strong hands, and you know, I will admit this is a weird spot for Jesse to be facing. So unless he thinks that Brad's really only going to make this with some extremely top tier hands, he's going to just have to put this in.
well, he's thinking about it. He's showing some good instincts. He does put it in.
Do get it in.
Gets the bad news.
And
They're running it once.
they're running it once.
17.8K in the middle.
Here we go. 9-5-3. 2 clubs. Jesse can't hit a flush this hand. He's drawing to just the last 2 jacks. 9 in the turn. 1 card left here, and Brad will double. 10 on the river. Brad gets the double.
There's no right way to play jiggities, so it doesn't matter what I do.
Absolutely true. This is pretty pathetic over here in the bunker. We have 3 guys all huddled around a soundboard looking through, trying to figure out which one we want to go with.
I got it.
There we go. There we go. How many commentators in the bunker does it take to press a button?
Is that the joke of the night, Doug?
One of you like it, 2 of you don't. You know the rules.
All right, nice hand, Brad.
Brad's getting his money worth in tonight's game. A lot of hands, a lot of action, some good hands, some bad hands. Now he's up some money.
We got Daxtrick Stunna in the chat, $10. I will take credit for the double up.
Very nice.
Well, thank you from Brad to you.
Dustin Platt sends $5. This Joe guy is a great player. Where did he come from? Haven't seen him play on the stream before. And Matt T, $5. Doug, oh, we already read that one. The 3-bet range.
Right.
Which players, Joe? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we did have a player list, but we don't. So
we lost the list, and then some of them we just have the nicknames, so we're a little behind.
well, we do know some of the players. So other ones, I don't think Boston Jimmy is named Joe. I don't think Cedric is named Joe. I don't think Mike is named Joe. I don't think Jesse's named Joe.
We could be getting trolled.
It could be. It's probably either seat 1. Rampage is named
Ethan.
Ethan. So it's not him. We know it's not Brad. His name's not Joe. We know Eddie's not Joe. So it's either seat 1 or seat 9. There's the only ones that we don't immediately know. Taras or Callie. Okay. Or we're getting trolled. It's really one or the other.
Yeah.
Both possible. Said he bets the 6-5 of clubs and the Jack 10 deuce 2 hearts. Eddie with the bottom pair and nut flush draw. A couple ways to play this. You can play it slow, pot control it. He does decide to go ahead and make the call. You could go for a raise, but call perfectly fine as well. 3 on the turn. Interesting card. 6-5 now picks up the gutter to the nuts. Said he might feel inclined to continue barreling with no showdown value, but now has improved to a draw to the nuts. Check, check. 3 on the river. Neither player improves.
Pair of deuces versus 6 high here.
I think Poker Traveler's going to make a bluff at it.
It's a spot you certainly want to have some bluffs. Not too many. It's not a great spot for you. However, you have just about the worst possible hand you can have, and you don't block any of the other missed draws. Having a heart is bad to bluff here. Having a 9 is bad to bluff here. Having a queen is bad to bluff here. With a 6-5, you have no interaction with any of those cards, and you have one of your worst possible showdown hands in position. I guarantee you good bluff with the 6-5 of clubs. Now for Eddie, bit of an interesting spot. Having the ace of hearts is actually a good card. I know it seems a little bit strange, but it makes it a little less likely your opponent is going to be value betting. And if they had ace high, they'd probably just be showing it down. Maybe there's some chance that he bluffs the ace 4, ace 5 of hearts, but given the straight draws, pretty unlikely. What you really want to have here are pairs and an ace. He has both, which makes this a pretty reasonable bluff catcher. King, queen, queen 9 suited, 9, 8 suited, all hands that might want to take a stab on the river. And it unblocks all of those. Now, he doesn't actually block anything too strong, but he does block ace 3 of hearts when he has the ace of hearts in his hand. Blocks value, doesn't block bluffs. Thinks it over, but decides to lay it down.
Just because we're going to see it anyway.
Sees a 6-5 of clubs.
Salt in the wound.
Probably still a reasonable fold in ring, I imagine, but just kind of taking you through some thought process as to why that might be a reasonable hand to go for.
We have a $50 from Anon. What's up, Andrew Doug? When is the lodge opening in the San Francisco Bay Area? Hold on a second. Let me.
Down the road, we are currently working on making sure that this room is the center for poker in Austin and really just Texas at large. By making this the best place that we can possibly make it. And then once we feel that we've done that, we're going to look to expand to some other areas. Don't want to put the carriage in front of the horse, as I like to say here.
Nor the cart.
Carriage is fine, right?
I mean, traditionally it's cart.
Is it cart?
Yeah. But I mean, like, carriage is all right, too.
But carriage sounds pretty old school, pretty traditional.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying.
Okay, chat, let's hear what you have to say. 1 in the chat if you think it's cart. 2 in the chat if you think it's carriage.
And that's cart before the horse or carriage before the horse.
2 for carriage, 1 for cart. Let's see what the good people here have to say on the stream.
Would you like to side bet before we look?
$10, you got it.
All right, I got. You know what I got. We won't buy.
You have carriage.
Yeah. No.
A lot of ones coming in, guys.
Oh my God! Someone put a 3. That's the closest you've come to a 2 so far.
Oh, I see a few 2s. All right. I owe you $10.
Yep.
Nice.
I'm gonna wait for. We have. The night is young. We have some other spots that can get some money in here. I see a few 2s. There's some 2s in here. There are some people that think 2.
I've seen as many 3 through 9s as I've seen 2s.
Yeah, but that's 7 numbers and 2 is just 1.
Oh, okay. Okay, sure.
Yeah, there's a chunk of 2s. There's some 2s in here. The 2 is cart, right? All right, chat. Okay, enough. I surrender.
Robert Carlin sends another $5 Aussie. I like these stakes. People can seem way stuck, but they're rarely more than a pot or 2 stuck. Love the commentary.
Thank you very much. And that's true until you get stacked twice.
Everyone has a plan until they get stacked twice.
Yes.
I almost called. I was so close. Oh my god. I really wanted to call. That was a good match. You had a really
That's
good
an interesting Mike Tyson reference. Was there a reason why you went that direction, or?
You know?
The genius just comes to him.
Mike's a fierce competitor, and poker enjoys many fierce competitors.
Wow. Nice.
Dickie Lou sends 10 Canadian dollars. Andrew plus Brad, thanks for making all these curfews and home isolating more bearable these past 2 years. Be safe and healthy for 2022. Thanks for that message, Dickie Lou. And the 10.
Small little bet. Queen 5 offsuit from Terrace.
Terrace has shown the propensity to make some aggressive calls and some aggressive folds. He's not afraid to mix it up.
Does make the call. Pretty reasonable call here at the bottom pair. Opponent could be bluffing. Gets counterfeit on the river, and once again, we have quads with the pocket tens. I also had quad pocket tens on here. There's been a lot of quads for pocket tens on the stream.
That's right. Callie looking very excited over there, especially as Terrace is reaching for chips.
Terrace is making a move, and it's going to be the worst possible spot to make a move. This is kind of weird with pocket tens, by the way, because you almost just know your opponent is bluffing.
Yep.
He's not going to bet this huge with a 7, and you have both tens. There's not anything you can do other than raise small here. Or maybe you hope he has pocket 7s or something, I guess. But realistically, you know he's very likely bluffing, and you just can't really get paid. The correct move is probably a min raise, I guess. Maybe you jam to try and get 7s to call. I don't know, but 7s probably just jams anyway. You can't love to see when your opponent checks to see how many.
Second quad tens with.
And it's nice to see the quad
Action on the
tens
river.
and not just some random hand that was making a move. You can actually feel good about that one, right, Jake?
Yes, that is the theory. You're like, well, I took a stab at it, and he raised me, but he didn't have the heart to raise me light. He only does that with quads. We have Dickie Lou, Canadian 10. Andrew and Blad, thanks for making all these curfews and home isolating more bearable the past 2 years. Be safe and healthy for 2022. That's Andrew and Brad.
Yep. And also the second reading of that lovely message. It was so lovely. I needed to read it twice.
You know what? I think that was fine. You did a good job on that one. The guy said such nice things. Hearing it twice, no big deal.
Yeah.
I think he just did it twice.
For a 500K tournament, 500K guarantee tournament that was easily surpassed that guarantee.
That's actually pretty incredible.
Still another full day of tournament registrations to come tomorrow, Saturday, before the day 2 takes place on Sunday. So if you want to get in the mix, you got a couple more flights to do so tomorrow. I think I'll be in there as well. That's the plan.
Very nice. I actually ended up not playing the tournament. So
missed out on that potential glory.
Yeah. Well, the thing was, I wanted to help with Jake's mix game, promoting that, and then your PLO game at the PLO party. I played that, and then today I had some stuff I really had to get done. These 13-hour days at the lodge are taking their toll a little bit, and I wanted to just kind of organize my life. And then, of course, we had the commentary tonight, and then the high stakes games tomorrow. So I didn't really end up having a day that even I could realistically play unless I was going to abandon ship on you guys, which I almost did tonight to take the open 5 seat that Mike took, but I said no, I want to be part of the team.
True team player here.
Yeah. I think we're back up now on the stream. Apologies to everyone out there that keeps going down. We're working on it.
Jesse drags that one in. Fat Boy Poker 45 says, congrats on your new business venture. Sends $10 along with that message. Thanks, Fat Boy Poker 45.
Much appreciated. Nines versus nines. Yeah, there's been a lot of fun moments like that. By the way, Andrew almost started laughing there in the middle of that because I almost just ate shit here in the bunker. I stood up to stretch for a second, and when I sat back down, my chair had rolled farther back than I had anticipated, and we almost had a disaster.
Yeah.
Small room, too, so there probably would have been some flailing, and Lord knows what could have gone down there, but we did manage to make it back into our chair all right.
I don't think, hopefully Skull Mike and Slick Rick haven't had any injuries in this booth. You might have been the first one there, but all is well.
Probably. Flush draw for SETI. Poker Traveler up against Rampage and Terrace. Both trying to get to showdown with their pocket nines. Kind of a fun spot. If Poker Traveler does decide to start betting, he's probably going to get folds from both. And if he does get called, they have no outs. Well, now I guess they do have the gut shot on the 10, but certainly no nines left in the deck. 7 on the river. Will SETI fire again? He fired the last 6-5. Got it through. This one, though, three-way. Just going to check. Checks down, and the nines chop up that Poker Traveler money. It's getting hot in the bunker.
We have Diego Garza Mondola, 200 Mexican. Doug, what should you prefer, the 10K main event bracelet or beating Dan Bilzerian to a pole on a heads-up matchup?
The first. Because I know what that one is. I don't know. I don't see the super chat in front of me, but I'm going to go with the first one, I think.
There you have it. He wants to win the 10K main event. So
yeah,
perhaps
okay.
Next time it happens.
If you win the 10K main, if you win the WSB main, you are a poker legend, all-time memorable name in poker.
Yes.
That was a great sentence.
On the other hand, to win, you must first play. Will you be playing the 10K WSOP main event this year?
I'm not familiar with what that is.
All right. There you have it, folks.
Anyway,
dodging the question.
We got aces.
Pocket aces, re-raising the Jack 7 of clubs, 750 to go. Eddie does make the call, Jack 7 of clubs.
Casual flick in of that purple chip.
Quite casual. 7 on the flop. Queen 8-7, 2 hearts. Ace is still in the lead, does have the ace of hearts.
I feel like I'm going to suck out after you say something like that. Yeah, I thought you was coming. That's why I was like, ugh. I was like, it'll at least be fun if I just get torched on stream. At least. Yeah. You're like, it's going to make good content. Yeah. I don't know about everyone else. I know.
Terrace assembles a wager, $625.
I like this decision, a small bet. Get a value from a lot of different holdings, lets him keep his opponent's range wide. And then I think from Eddie, with the bottom pair, not the kind of hand you'd want to bluff raise with, but against this small size, he's going to have to call. I think it's play from both players.
He just wants to win every chip on the table.
Pretty safe turn here for Terrace. No draws complete.
He's an ambitious man.
Should feel all right firing again until he proves me wrong and checks it back. And Eddie gets there. Eddie gets there on the river.
Oh!
Aces are cracked, officially cracked.
There it is.
Tough session for Terrace so far. Been put in a lot of difficult spots.
Terrace with the nut flush draw and nut straight draw blocker could lose his mind and put them all in the middle.
$1,000 bet here from Eddie. Terrace now. I hope the Lodge does not cheap out on their ISP like Upswing does when it comes with its use of WordPress. Some IC Lab for the win. So unfortunately, we have brought everyone over from the Upswing team to the Lodge. So you're going to get all of the great online presence from the Upswing brand over here, joining into the Lodge partnership. Exciting times for everyone, and I'm glad to hear that you're going to enjoy the work that we do. You know, we should.
You're back jamming 10, bro. Never. Not even. I probably back jam ace king. No, I don't think you do.
Okay, so 5 different things. Okay. We are back, and I have some exciting news for everyone here at the Lodge stream. I've got a giveaway going, guys. You know how I get. In fact, I think I might have forgotten to mention it. We have $100 that's going to be given away. We're going to start with 100, and we're going to keep going from there. And the first question is, we are going to pick someone in the chat to give what my favorite city in the world is.
And I'm going to add a rule here. The answer Boston is going to be disqualified because that would be too easy.
Okay.
It's obviously the best city in the world.
I am thinking of a city. It is my favorite city in the world, and I'm going to pick someone that chooses my city, and they're going to win $100. There's F's in the chat, I believe, because the stream is probably dying.
Well, if you're still here on the bright side, you have less competition to win.
Of Boston Jimmy, not the launch, Boston Jimmy giving away free money to the viewers here. We love to hear that.
Oh, cool.
And back into the action.
Weighing options at the moment. Try and keep you guys as entertained as possible here, despite the technical difficulties. Brad Lipset in here with the King 5 offsuit in the big blind versus the straddle. And he's going to raise it up here with the suited King Deuce. Brad's going to let it go. I tell you what, guys, it'll definitely be in the meeting, the weekly meeting. See what we can do to button this up for the next stream and going forward indefinitely. Taking a look at the winnings here, Callie is the big winner, up $12,000. Nobody else in 5-figure territory. Brad Owens had a swingy night. He was up off the bat, and then he ran into a really tough stretch. Lost all his winnings, and I think was in red territory, but then found a good couple of hands to get back into the green. As we see Callie raising up here with ace-jack offsuit. $250. Rampage has a playable one here. Ace-10 suited on the button. Looks like he's going to make the call. I do like Rampage's merch. Ox hoodie. I like the color. I like the design. Terrace finds the 7-deuce offsuit. The 7-deuce bounty game is on. Is he going to go for it here? Put in the squeeze play. Callie's been playing pretty solid, so I bet he's feeling like he's sort of needed to, despite not really wanting to. As Callie puts in the initial raise from early position, but he is going to go for it here. Grabs a little under 1,000, I think. Three bets and $950 here from Terrace. Callie is going to release it, so let's see what Rampage decides to do. Can't really blame Callie there. Can't really blame Rampage here, and Terrace is going to scoop it in. I think this will be kind of a tight fold here. Nope, he does not fold. Heads up to a flop, 9-6 for 2 clubs. Just is going to go ahead, take the stab. $400. Kind of a wet board here. Just backdoors for Callie. Let's go. And Jesse is going to collect. Send the money.
I would have bet that size.
Two hands in a row, back to back, 7 deuce. Easy game. Sounds like a decision has been made here in terms of what to do.
Alrighty, guys. We are actually going to go ahead and call it a session here from the lodge. We had some exciting high-stakes action. We were going to run to overtime, but given a few technical difficulties, I'm sure you guys seen that in the chat, we're going to go ahead and call it a day here. I hope you guys did enjoy the stream. We had a lot of fun hands from the players. We're going to be back tomorrow, hopefully with this issue completely solved for our big game. And if you guys have not subscribed to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We do apologize once again. We will see you back here shortly tomorrow with more action from the lodge.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
See you guys.